Big 5-0. I never really ever gave this one much thought until just the last week or so. It's not like turning 21 and being able to buy liquor legally. 21 was the one I was anticipating for years. But by the time I was 19, I was living with an older woman, so liquor wasn't exactly hard to come by. I just got Deb to buy it. Deb, that older woman, is my soulmate and wife of the last 27 years. It was just a minor thrill to be able to personally purchase alcohol instead of skirting the law. I was more excited about turning 25 and seeing the car insurance premium go down. The next big one for me was 32. See, that was my first birthday of the new millennium. I remember growing up as a kid and all of us talking and counting to see how old we'd turn in the year 2000. At the time, 32 seemed like a really old person. That's what 32 seems like to a preteen, practically ancient. But to me right now, just a few months out from my 50th birthday, a 32-year-old person is still green. Not really ripe and ready for real life yet. Older than a kid, but not exactly an adult. If you're 32 or younger, please don't take it personally. You might think you've got it all together and figured out, but you're wrong. I recently started watching Weird Homes. It's a show that I ran across on Amazon Prime. So far, it's not really the homes that are weird, maybe weirdly decorated, but most of the homes on all the episodes I've seen are pretty traditional, strangely decorated, or have yards filled with a lot of garbage that the owners consider to be art. But it's more the people that are weird. I've always admired people that live life on their terms and push the envelope a bit. I admire the individuals. I abhor people that push the envelope in a narcissistic cry for attention. I wonder which one I am. There may be ads claiming that 50 is the new 30, but honestly, that's a load of horseshit. The age of 50 is the time that we can all agree is undeniably, categorically, and definitively over halfway through our lives. That's fine by me. I'm on the downhill side. I've got less time left than I've already experienced. Knowing this, I feel less and less compelled to give energy and time to the useless drama that the kids seem to wallow, create, and revel in. I think that's one of the greatest things I appreciated about my great-grandmother. Mama was sweet. Mama was generous. And Mama cut through the BS and got down to the things that she found important, like sitting on the porch, watching the birds, and eating good food. Looking back, I find that in many ways, I've already started behaving in a no-nonsense, expedient fashion. About a year ago, I was called into the office for a meeting with my bosses. They wanted to commend me for being the excellent electronics associate that I am. You know how young people can be. They just seem to enjoy the sound of their own voices, so they just drone on and on and on. I interrupted my bosses and asked, "Okay, so I'm doing a good job. Am I getting a raise?" This direct and open communication method seemed to catch them off guard. They stumbled a bit and finally replied that they weren't really authorized to increase my pay. I then told them, "Money talks, bullshit walks. I'm going back to work. Meeting adjourned." And I left. It felt good to get complimented. Who doesn't like for their hard work to be recognized? But walking out on two managers and letting them know that I didn't need anyone's approval beyond my own, that was a pivotal moment in my life. In that meeting, I threw off the last shackles of childhood. I liberated myself from the need for external approval of my actions. This brings up something in society that completely befuddles me. It seems that people with many types of alternative lifestyles are so freaking determined that society, including me, must lavish them with not only acceptance but approval as well. Geez, just grow up already. I've theorized on occasion that individuals that are demanding that others must approve of their actions are maybe not really so sure of themselves. I'm reminded of a quote from one of my two favorite fat guys, Buddha. "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." Just something to think about. I don't want to go backwards. I don't wish to be young again. Quite the opposite. I wish I could redo many parts of my life with the knowledge and perspective of a 50-year-old man. I could have been the husband and father that my wife and son deserved. I don't get a do-over. Got to look to the future. What does that mean? For one, more great food. Emma had that one right. And more time watching the birds from the back porch. Okay, she's 3 for 3. But I'm not quite satisfied simply following her example. I need a bit more. First off is a life goal of building more things with my own 2 hands. I've always needed and appreciated ways to express myself through the physical creation and manipulation of objects. Gardening, refinishing old furniture, creating magical talismans. Since I'm over halfway through life, I think I need to kick it up a bit. I've already started as I'm working on the renovations of our home and plan to do much of the labor myself. It has also occurred to me that a life-size cement sculpture of a dragon should be built in our yard. It just makes good sense. More dragon equals less grass that needs mowing. Next is a goal to continue along the spiritual journey I've always been on. Yes, this means more video blogs concerning fairies. I got a couple books about fairies and started reading them. One book is absolute rubbish, and the other has given me lots of new things to think about. Sadly, neither has given me insight into how to gain favor with the little people as it pertains to winning lottery numbers. I also got a book about divining the future by reading tea leaves. If you're in the area, stop and sit on the back porch with me. We'll watch the birds, drink some tea, and giggle about my laughable prognostication abilities. I'd like to close with a quote from my other favorite fat man. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.